Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. We're back from Give Kids the World. Just a huge thank you to everybody who supported the village. We got to raise over $16,000 this weekend for the awesome folks down at Give Kids World. Thanks to your generosity. You guys are truly the best, and thank you is not enough, but just a huge thank you. I mean, that's all we can say is thank you so much for lifting up those folks. You guys are truly the best. Today we're back. Ricky and Scott join me. We tackle your listener questions, including lightning lane strategies for a group headed down to Springtime Surprise. They're going to run the 5K, then head to Animal Kingdom and Epcot. How do you lay those lightning lanes down after the race? Group is heading to sail the Disney Wish for the very first Disney cruise experience. They're asking about their theme park tickets for both post and pre-cruise. We talk about that. Delivering some goods over to Port Orleans Riverside for a family traveling over from the UK. This and much more coming your way on today's show. Don't forget our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We are always standing by to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Great way to support the show at the same time. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That helps us out each and every time with each purchase. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. That really helps us out for just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week. It's a bargain. Check us out. It's patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2655 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rahman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you, and we are back here to answer your listener questions for the midweek where spring has sprung in the Midwest. Mid-70s, sunny, and yes, little spring fever here in Missouri. Love it. Going to be 80 by Friday. Gotta love that. Has me thinking about summer times down at Walt Disney World. Our Disney cruise, the podcast cruise coming up in July. I am ready. I know I just got back from Florida this past weekend, but man, I am itching to get out and think about summertime, which is just around the corner. But we may have some questions about cruising, maybe about Walt Disney World this summer. Who knows? We'll open up the inbox. And, of course, we record live. So if you are tuned in live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, wherever you're listening or watching us as we record, drop those questions in and we will answer them with the experts. And speaking of the experts, they're here today. We're missing one. Pam is on the flight back home from Walt Disney World. So safe flight to Pam and Steve. So good seeing them this weekend. But joining us today, we have Scotty G from Must See Adventures on YouTube and up in Lansing, East Lansing, Michigan. Got to have the East, right? That's important, right, Scotty G? What's up?
Yeah, I mean, I was born and raised in Lansing, and then I just moved a couple zip codes over. You know,
I don't know how if that's a big. Yeah, I don't know.
East Lansing.
Okay.
Fun fact: East Lansing is just one zip code. So if you ever say if you have to ever give your address or anything in town, and you say East Lansing, everyone knows what it is. They don't even ask what the zip code is.
Really?
You know?
Oh, see,
yeah, 48823. That's East Lansing.
Dude, everybody tuned in. Already learned something today.
There you go. Well, speaking of East Lansing, we kick off the Big Ten tournament. This is I have so many favorite times of the year. I'm such a positive person. I love all times of the year, but man, when the Big Ten conference tournaments start for men, actually the women's tournament was just going on, but now the men's one is starting. It just, you feel the spring, like you were just talking about, Mike. And then you got the NCAA tournament for both men and women. And then you got the Masters that come on over that. And then baseball starting to thrive and all that. It's just a beautiful time of year indeed.
I learned something on radio today that the Big Ten, I guess this is new because the Big Ten has expanded to be so many teams in the conference that not every team makes the Big Ten tournament. And I was watching Barstool, Iowa and Barstool, Nebraska go back and forth. Apparently Nebraska didn't make the tournament.
Nebraska did not make the Big Ten tournament.
Sorry. I had to do that, Wade. Sorry, I'm just messing around. But yeah.
The worst part of this is the Big Ten tournament had one of the coolest tournament logos. It was like this pinwheel of all the teams' colors. It was super cool. It was at center court. but now there's too many teams, and now it just says Big Ten Conference Tournament.
I know the things we lose for progress.
At least maybe they could just put the colors for the teams that made it.
You know, the Sports Open line again. Yes, and Ricky's mom says Ricky is yawning down here. So Ricky's joining us from a Disney World after all.com and the mouseforless.com. Ricky, sorry, we're talking sports because it is time to fill out those brackets, and we are going to mark you safe from brackets on our podcast because we know in the Disney community, every podcast puts every single thing in brackets for the month of March. We're not going to do that.
And as it should be. Brackets are awesome.
The brackets are awesome, but we don't have to, because every podcast does this every year and everything comes out the same because you know what? It's always going to be the same. Like the Polynesians always going to win. You know,
always going to win.
I mean, and you know, Storm Along Bay is always going to be the best pool. It's just how it is. So why do we need to put them in brackets right now? We're good. We're going to talk about other stuff and leave that up to other shows. So Ricky, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. How are things?
Happy Wednesday, and yes, we are just back from our fantastic adventure at Give Kids the World, and I just wanted to send a huge thank you to everyone who donated, who, you know, won things at auction, you know, everyone who participated, who watched, who asked questions, who, you know, everything. We were able to raise $16,000 for Give Kids the World as of right now. However, I will say that if you would still like to donate, you can. So even though the auction is over and the fantastic auction items, you can't win those anymore, but there is still the ability to make a donation to Give Kids the World that still works through the link that we have. The link is on our Facebook page and it's still on our socials as well. So you can find it there. But you can click the first one, which is make a donation, and then you can donate to Give Kids the World. And then we'll have a final total. I'll end up having that here in the next week or two for everyone. But yeah, so thank you very much to everyone. And also I'm getting some questions about shipping items. So for anyone who won anything from the Give Kids the World auction, I mentioned this at the end of the show, but I'm not sure if everybody heard.
And we apologize. We were echoing down there the whole 6 hours like we were Lou Gehrig in Yankee Stadium in the 40s. And we apologize for that. It will not happen next time we were there. That I have not slept since I got home because of that, because I'm a perfectionist. And it's driven me crazy, but we apologize for that. So clarify here where it's crystal clear.
Yes. Okay. So it's crystal clear now. So what's going to happen is the Give Kids the World team is actually going to go through every single item one, and they're going to combine it all into one box for the winners. So that way they're not shipping out 15 different boxes to win, you know, the same winner, you know, stuff like that. So you'll have one box and you'll actually get sent an email and it will state how much the shipping is for your now combined box. So once you pay the shipping email, once you pay that price, if that comes from the shipping email, then they will ship your items to you from Give Kids the World. So you're just, as of right now, and you're just waiting for an email from Give Kids the World that will say, here is your shipping total, please pay this, and then we'll ship your box. So they said they were going to work on all of that this week. And I expect that everyone will be getting an email this week. By the end of the week, if you haven't gotten an email, just let me know. And I'll be able to get you in touch with Kate, who's at Give Kids the World. And then from there, you know, they'll ship everything out. And I would assume that, you know, once they start shipping things out, it'll be probably about 2-3 weeks or so. If you haven't gotten your box by then, again, let me know and we'll work things out with you. But yeah, I just wanted everyone to know that that's kind of the process moving forward with the Give Kids the World auction. So you're still waiting on one email, and then everything will come to you in one box. So that part's good. So
efficiency. And again, thanks to everybody who was with us on Saturday, and thanks for the great donations, over $16,000 so far, but you can still donate this week. So please go to the Facebook page, click the link, click donate. Remember, when you donate, you are purchasing ice cream scoops for kids to have, families to have ice cream for breakfast. That's what they do down at the village. How cool is that? You know, they go through a lot throughout the year. This is the awesome week where they can have ice cream for breakfast all week and pizzas for the families to take back to the villas. And they can just go back, crash, have a family pizza party. How cool is that? Instead of being in the hospital, dealing with doctors and medications and IVs and shots, hey, let's have a pizza party in our village after a fun day over at Universal or, SeaWorld or Walt Disney World. They're going to make memories around, those family pizza nights, and you can make that happen. So let's do that. Let's, I'm not really worried about the totals. Let's just do that. If you have a few extra bucks, you got a tax refund this week, or, it was just a better week. Let's just make that happen. We got a few more days on that. So just go over to the Facebook page and do that. But let's get the show started, and we're going to do a Karnak. Karnak the Great. Ricky, you weren't here last week. Scott and I busted out. These are from 2014. We got talking about Karnak. So these are a little bit, out of they go back to a time and place at Walt Disney World in 2014. So here's today's. I got the old sealed envelope here in my hand. So I'm put on my head like Karnak used to do. I don't have my, my hat like Karnak. I have my Disney treasure hat on today because it's spring around these parts. I busted out a white hat. I felt springy. So let's see what the envelope says. Like Karnak used to blow into the envelope. And it says, Disney fireworks. What do you think the question is? Disney fireworks. That's the answer.
What cost $80,000 a day?
I like that.
That's a great answer. That is almost correct, but no. It is. What often happens when the family unit spends too much time together in the parks?
This is also true.
That is correct. That's
a good one.
Correct. That is right. All right. Let's get to the questions, and we need questions in the comments. So we have lots of folks tuned in, but we would like your questions here live as you're tuned in. So, hey, Mike and everyone on the Be Our Guest podcast. Love listening to the shows, and it gets us very excited for our trip in April. My wife and I will be traveling to Disney World with our two children, who are 6 and 4, from the United Kingdom. We'll be staying at Port Orleans Riverside for 2 weeks. And although we have the quick service dining plan and are looking to get some groceries delivered to the resort when we arrive, things like water and park snacks. What are our options as a family traveling from the UK for places we can order from? We know there are some services that we can use before we leave for the UK, but we would be paying more than ordering in the US to use these. We are unsure if we can use U.S. ordering options, Walmart, Target, etc., with not having a U.S. address. Any help is appreciated to help us plan this part of our upcoming vacation. Thanks for your help in making the last weeks of our countdown more bearable. Chris and family over in the UK. So getting some staples delivered to the resort over at Riverside. I guess like water, Gatorade, sodas, Rice Krispie treats, Pop-Tarts, stuff like that you could just grab and go and get 2 weeks, and they're going to have a great trip. Scott, have you ordered stuff? What you got?
It's been a little while since I ordered stuff, but so pardon me if I sound dated here, going back to like the Karnak, 2014. But
exactly.
Like, is Garden Grocer still around? Because I used to use Garden Grocer.
I believe they are, yeah.
Yeah.
And really, really good trust. I mean, they're still around, so like longevity there with Garden Grocer. So really good services. You just go to their website and they have quite the catalog of stuff that you can order from. Even if you wanted alcoholic beverages, you can even order it, but you would just have to make sure you can verify your identification, make sure you're legal drinking age when they deliver it. But I've also used Amazon in the past too, and that's been really solid for me. So those would be my two options, and they deliver to the resort.
In Riverside's clutch because it does not have a business center or some kind of a convention center. Because if you're like at Yacht Club, they have a convention center. So sometimes your stuff will end up at the business center. The same for Coronado Springs. These places that have conventions, every once in a while, your delivery will go to the business center. Then it'll get locked in there, and you have to pick it up during business hours, and it can be a hassle. But places like
there's
Riverside,
usually a fee associated.
Exactly. It's like a get out of jail. Like, here's $8 to get your box. And so, yeah, Riverside, French Quarter, these other places, it just goes to Bell Services. They throw it in a fridge. Stuff needs to be refrigerated. It's easy peasy. But yeah, I've used Amazon with no issues because they have pretty extensive stuff. But Garden Grocer is going to have like your real groceries. I think they even have things like produce. I've never used it because it is
Garden
a little bit more
Grocer is really
expensive.
solid.
Yeah, but they have the most extensive options.
Yeah.
Ricky,
and
I know
it's pretty
you
straightforward. You just put your name in, like the name of the resort, And even if it doesn't ask you that, like if you're using Amazon, just put your name in, and I just always put it in care of,
That's
and
what
then
I
I put
too.
my name.
Yep.
And it works out really
I
well.
put like CO, Mike Ramen, guest at
Exactly.
Port Orleans, Riverside. And I think I put the date like I'm arriving. Like, I don't know. I'm always
it works really well. Yeah. So.
Ricky, you drive.
Then they'll give you like a time frame, like a time window. So like, I personally try to be there. If you're having a 2-week trip, I think definitely maybe planning on a day you're not in the parks, you're just lounging at the resort for your delivery. That way, you know you're there, because while bowel services can hold like your groceries for a while, but like if you're getting like produce or like fresh things, like I kind of want to just make sure I'm there so I can get it right away and start packing it in my room.
Yeah. I always try to get it like day 2 or day, even you can get it to where it's there like waiting for you if you want. I mean, that's some people do that. I get it like day 1, or I just make sure I'm, like you said, I'm there. Ricky, have you ever gotten delivery, or do you just bring stuff? You typically drive.
I just bring stuff. I tend to, I'll stop at the store before, or I'll stop at, say, a Target or a Walmart or a Publix or something like that. If I need something, on the way or whatever, I'll stop there and grab something. Or as I did when I had a impromptu hotel stay this weekend, a CVS for coffee and sugar and creamers. So
there you go. I love the delivery though. Like I've had a trip where I had like 4 different things delivered, like just from Amazon, like a charger or something.
Yeah.
Like I've had shirts delivered. Like I was wearing like ordering these funky like matching shirts for me and Emily, and like we just kept dropping in throughout the whole trip. It was hilarious.
Well, in Orlando, Amazon's got the like 2-hour delivery. Like we don't have that as available here where I live. Like I mean, they have that Amazon. It used to be like called Prime Now, or no, I don't know what it was called. Something with the groceries, especially. Like you could just get like a 12-pack of Coke Zeros. Boom, they'd be there in 2 hours. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Oh, this is amazing. With your Amazon Prime account. Yeah, I was like, if I had this would be dangerous at home. It was crazy.
Awesome.
That one summer I did the same thing. I did go to but speaking of that, I went to the Target right there that's kind of on the other side of the road from Disney Springs this trip when we were there, because as soon as I got on the road to the airport with my dad on that Thursday, I was like, dog, I forgot to pack my running shorts. They're in the dryer. Because he got there so early to pick me up to go to the airport, because my dad's like, I'll be there at 12:30. Of course, my dad's sitting in the driveway at 12 o'clock. That's how my dad is. He's, if he says he's going to be there at 12:30, he's there at 12 o'clock. So it got me all off my game, because I was like, wasn't totally ready. So I forgot my running shorts. So then we got down to Orlando. I was like, I'll just go to Target and buy a couple pair. So we had to go to that Target, but that Target's nice. That one across the street from, kind of across the street from Disney Springs. Like it's one.
I've been to the one at Flamingo Crossing as well, which is small but nice.
That's a very small Target.
Yes, it is a very small Target. Yes, but it's
like
nice.
You might be able to get your waters, and that's about it. No?
Yeah. If you're just eating like basic essentials, that one will have it, but it's definitely a really small Target.
That's a big Target. So if you need a big one, it's that one right there on 4 across from that new. It's like the whole new development. There was like all kinds of nice stuff, and there's a bocce.
Yeah,
there's like a bocce.
We went to that one the last for spring break. No, we actually went to it for our Thanksgiving trip, and like we really liked it because it was like brand new.
Yeah, it was.
I think
nice.
that Mexican restaurant that you went to was like right over there too, isn't it? Like with Jay and the Shine, like and all.
Yeah, we went. I don't know, because I just followed the.
I think GPS. It was right there too.
It could have been like next door, and I wouldn't have known. Like you probably. Who knows? It's just, I don't know. I don't know the lay of the land. All right, Len's got a question. Speaking of Len, our good friend out in Maryland, at the Riv in early April, we need to get from the Riv to Akershus for 8:35 ADR when early entry is 8:30. Concerned about the Skyliner availability at morning rush from the Riv. What would be your strategy? Okay, so let me think this out. He's at the Riv. He's got to get to Akershus.
I mean, as a Spartan, he should know that the Riv is a trashy bar in East Lansing, not necessarily a nice, sophisticated Disney resort.
He's moving on up like George Jefferson from the old Riv to the real Riv, or the fake Riv, or however you want to classify that. I don't know. So how would you? So he's gonna obviously. I mean, with
that's tricky. I just don't know. I worry about Disney Skyliner.
Getting on at the Riv station, like availability of the buckets, because like are they
that early in the morning? It probably shouldn't be that fine, but yeah, I mean he's actually right. I mean the empty bucket thing is a real thing where, like, I would go down to the main hub at Caribbean Beach, which isn't that much further of a walk, but like that way you're guaranteed a bucket like sooner, because that is a real issue, like just standing there waiting for a bucket.
See, I've never stayed at the Riv except that one night with you when I crashed with you guys. But do they not send like every 10th bucket empty during morning?
That's
rush?
why I've said they should always do. They don't.
I thought that somebody called in and said they did, like somebody that worked there. I thought we had a cast member call in, or somebody had a cast member like kid or something, like maybe
we
6
did,
months
but
ago
I don't
that
think
said they
did though. I don't know.
They should. I mean, if you're staying at a deluxe resort, they should send like every 15th, bucket gondola should be an empty. Come on now. Like you're staying at the Riv. Yeah. I would ask about that. You know what? I would ask like my first day I'm there and be like, swing by, be like, look, what's the policy here? Like, am I going to have a bucket? Because I mean, that is kind of a long walk. I mean, but you're right.
I think a lot of times, my guess though, in the morning though, they're probably like cramming people in with like more groups, so I think they're going to have a bigger group because I think it's like an extended family trip. I don't think it's just Len and Jen on this one. So, but I mean, I think it's fine. I think you'd be fine, Len. And then just kind of learn. I don't know if this is like the first morning of your trip. Just kind of learn what the hours are early on in the trip, and just kind of be there a little bit earlier before the hours start. And then I like the strategy though, because then you'll be backing in through like World Showcase, and then just cut over to the right, and then you walk over to Norway. I think that would be a shorter walk than coming through the front of the park. So I like that.
And for the record, I think this is the perfect character meal for this family, for that like Akershus, like I said, 3 generations, 2 grandchildren. Like, oh,
that's gonna be great.
That's such a great meal to go to. I mean, Len knows what's going on. That's perfect.
I hope they still have those like breakfast potatoes. That was one of my favorite dishes in all of Walt Disney World. Like the breakfast potatoes in Norway, those things are so good.
Got to quit recording these at dinner time. I mean, I know it's early dinner time, but I mean, come on now. All right, Samantha's got a question out in Columbus, Ohio. Speaking of Big Ten country, hey Mike, I'm going to the world in April it sounds like everybody's going to be there next month, but it's gonna be fun. I'm going to the world in April with my sister, mom, and 8-month-old daughter. My sister, mom, and I are avid Disney goers, and this is our first time going with a little one. My question is about rider swap. I understand how it works. If you're initially waiting in the standby line, one party waits in the standby line, then they swap with the second party who waits in the lightning lane line. That's a lot to say. How does rider swap work if you have a lightning lane pass? Does the first party wait in the lightning lane line, swap, then the second party also waits in the lightning lane line? That doesn't really seem like a time-saving benefit like the standby rider swap. Let me know if you can help answer this question. Thanks, Samantha. Ricky?
You got it exactly right.
I'm not reading it again. I'll tell you that with all the yells. See, that was alliteration at its finest in that email.
It was, yes. No, so that's exactly how it works. So the first group will go in the lightning lane. And then, line, whatever. Yeah. And then they'll ride the attraction. And then the second group will go through the line. So yes, that's the way that works.
I guess there's really, I mean, I'm trying to think like logistically how they could, there's really no other way to really go about.
I mean, you're still saving the weight of the standby queue, so you still are saving time. It's just, you're going to have to wait, somebody's going to have to wait in the lightning lane and then somebody else is going to have to wait. Yeah. So.
You're avoiding the standby queue the second time.
Correct. Exactly.
That's what you're avoiding.
Yeah.
So there's still a benefit to it. Good question. And thank you for all the L's. I got my L workout.
A lot of L's.
Yes. That was fun. All right. Amy's got a question. Dear Mike and the BOGP crew, hope you are doing well. I'm reaching out to seek your advice about an upcoming trip. After many, many trips to Disney World, I'm planning a one-day visit to Disneyland in March with one of my daughters during her college spring break softball trip to Southern California. Currently, I've purchased a one-day pass to Disneyland with a fast pass, photo pass, well, I guess it'd be a lightning lane, for March 20th. We're still good. We'll be staying in Carlsbad, so not on site and not in Anaheim. And we'll probably have some curfew time. I guess that's for the softball team because they have to be in, if like for athletes, to return my daughter to her team in Del Mar. I'm worried that I'll be disappointed that I didn't spring for the park hopper. Do you think we will finish all of Disney? She said Disney World, but I think she means Disneyland. All of Disneyland before the day is done. In Disney World, we are not generally park hoppers and usually do one park per day, but I understand that it is different in California. I'm also open to walking around the Disneyland Hotel and possibly the downtown Disney area. What do you think? Do you think we'll be all right with Disneyland only tickets? I'm planning to come back at another time with my family of 5 when we probably can go for more than one day. We have a trip planned for a few years. We had a trip planned for a few years ago for our whole family, but had to cancel. Also, is the Disneyland is the Disneyland app separate from the Disney World app? Do you have any advice on great things to do or to read to prepare? Thank you so much. Really love your show and don't miss an episode. Amy is out in Maryland. Okay, let me tackle the first part, then we kind of jump into the other stuff. There is a separate app for the two destinations. Disneyland has an app, just like Walt Disney World. So to search the Disneyland app in your app store, it looks very similar and functions very similar to the Walt Disney World app. So just download the Disneyland app and and what you'll do is you'll connect your reservation to it, whether it's a ticket or a hotel you're not staying on site. So just download the Disneyland app and just look at it, get familiar with it. That'll help you. That's kind of step one is what I would do, is download the Disneyland app. So there is a separate app for that. So do that. Now, what do we say about they have one day, they've purchased a 1-day Disneyland ticket with Lightning Lane. So they have PhotoPass. They get their pictures. That is a benefit with Lightning Lane out at Anaheim. What do we say about that? Do you just do the one park?
I have thoughts.
Well, we have time. Let's talk about it.
I know. So I'm just thinking, like, I would normally say park hopper all the way because it's so easy to park hop, and Disney's California Adventure is my favorite domestic park for Disney. But with the curfew and everything, and then like it's not your full family, because you said like your family might be going out on a later trip. I think I would just stick to Disneyland Park and just have a wonderful day in Walt's Park.
I actually agree with Scott. I know, right? Who would have thought? I the same thing. Like I would have said no, get the park hopper, but because of the limitations on this trip, I feel like that's going to be the better option, is to just go to Disneyland, enjoy Disneyland, really get the broad scheme of the park, enjoy Walt's Park, and just go that route. I really feel like that's the best choice overall.
Yeah, I'm right with both of you guys. There's so much to do in Disneyland that you can fill an entire day, even if you go from rope drop to park closing, and your daughter could stay for the entire time, which curfew with a softball team on a road trip to Southern California could be called at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, which means it's cutting your day to 60% of the time, or 70% of the time, which would really negate the ability to spend time over at DCA's. And like you said, if you want to take some of that time and just go down through downtown Disney and check that out, maybe have a lunch there, maybe just peep out the Disneyland Hotel, walk around and see Trader Sam's or Tangaroa Terrace, or just walk into the Disneyland Hotel. There's a great store in the Disneyland Hotel. The gift shop's awesome. Just check out the little, they have in each tower, there's a little kind of model of Adventureland or Frontierland or what have you, Fantasyland. It's cool to check out. So I would say this is the time not to spring on a park hopper, even though I say park hopper's great.
And if I did that, I would just put in my word of advice, like I'm on the fence of exploring downtown Disney because you just got the one day, so I would like really want to soak up Disneyland Park. But if you do decide to do that, take the monorail out from Tomorrowland.
Oh, good call.
Monorail. Yeah. I believe the monorail is running out there. That's a cool experience. As a Walt Disney World fan, hello monorail, like you've done that before. So do the monorail at Disneyland to get over to, because that basically takes you really close to where the Disneyland Hotel is. That would be that'd be a cool way to, if you're going to explore downtown Disney, to head out that way.
And I'll tell you what, you're going to get that taste of Disneyland. You'll be back with your family and then get the park hopper and definitely spend at least 3 days.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's why I know, like, I rather have the whole family when you're doing like the park hopping and things like that. If you just got the one day, just stick to the classic. You're going to have an awesome day. I can't add more than what Mike and Ricky said, but like, it'll be a really good day.
And they asked where to get like information and stuff like that. I'm gonna highly suggest the Unofficial Guide to Disneyland. If it is the ultimate book for learning about all things Disneyland. So that's gonna be my suggestion, is to pick up that book.
Or if you want to just fly out Ricky and she could just be like,
right, I'll just walk you around. Exactly. I'll be your personal tour guide. I have no problems with that. You pay for my trip, I'm cool. Bring me along.
I would offer myself, but I'm flying to Hawaii.
That's true. That's true. Brian just watched Lucy over the weekend. He can watch her again. Yeah. It's fine.
I'm almost an empty nester. Like, I never see my daughter at this point, and my wife's still teaching for another couple months. I do love Disneyland. I'll take you. Hey, they have canoes. I'll row the canoe. Let's go, Rivers of America.
There you go.
I love the canoes. I'm telling you, Buckley tells you.
That's going to be the next Give Kids the World donation item. Like, spend a day with the crew in a park.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Row a canoe. Okay, we got a question from Josh about Lightning Lane Multipass. So I don't ever buy I do it at Disneyland. I don't at Walt Disney World. So here we go, guys. Hey guys, I'm listening to the show. I've been listening to the show for the last year or so, and I've learned so much. Wow, I'm glad somebody did. Definitely appreciate all the great discussion. I'm doing my first ever Run Disney event at Springtime Surprise with my sister and her boyfriend, and we are doing the challenge. Congratulations. I'm glad you're getting your first taste of Run Disney. It's going to be fun. They haven't been to Disney in the last 10 years, while I've been each of the last 3 years, so I'm tasked with the planning. We are currently planning to do Animal Kingdom / Epcot on Friday, Hollywood Studios on Saturday, potentially also Epcot, and Magic Kingdom on Sunday. We are heavily ride focused, so we're getting multi-pass each day, as well as some single passes. My question is about multi-pass strategy for the Animal Kingdom and Epcot day. We'll be running the 5K, and I'll be the slowest of the group at around 30-ish minutes. Baking in an extra...
That's still pretty fast.
I know, that's what I'm saying, dude. You have really fast friends. If your 30 minutes is the slowest, you're like, pew. Okay. Mm-hmm. Baking in an extra half hour for potential character stops, although not 100% planning on it. I think we can be back to our hotel room and ready to go at 7:30-ish. That sounds about right. We will be getting a single pass for Flight of Passage in the morning and for Guardians in the afternoon. But I'm wondering whether we should get multi-pass for Animal Kingdom or whether it would be better to book it for Epcot and get rides for after we hop over. Will we be able to hit all the main rides at Animal Kingdom, like Na'vi, Safari, Everest, and Dinosaur, without multi-pass and get to Epcot by around 1 o'clock? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and thanks, Josh. That's kind of his thoughts. So what say you two ride experts on that strategy?
I'm booking the Animal Kingdom passes.
Ricky, you're muted.
Because, and before I'll explain, and then Ricky can jump into it.
Yeah.
So I'm booking Animal Kingdom passes because I always have this little theory that the later the day for Epcot, the busier World Showcase kind of gets. So, like, I feel like you can hit up, and I know you got 2 attractions out there. You got Ratatouille and you got the Frozen Ever After. But I feel like you can do a lot of, and I'm going to call it Future World. I know I'm wrong. I feel like you can do a lot of Future World without getting those lightning lanes. Plus, once you check into your Animal Kingdom one, you can start making some for Epcot later that night. So I say take advantage of it early. That's always my strategy with the multi-pass. Take advantage at your first park. Then once you hit that first touch point, start booking for Epcot after that and start stacking some for later in the day.
I, again, agree with Scott. I think this is, I know, look at us go. Yeah. I think that's a great plan, because then you can make sure that you get the Animal Kingdom attractions done. And early in the morning, the Animal Kingdom is definitely not as busy, but the park does open first usually too. So it builds up pretty quickly then, once people start getting going and everything like that. So I would definitely book the lightning lanes for Animal Kingdom. And then, like Scott said, then as the day progresses, you can start making those ones for Epcot, and they should be available for Epcot. And like Scott said, most of the attractions in World Nature and World Discovery should be available, by that point too. So there's usually less wait times for those, except for things like Guardians or like
Right.
Frozen and Remy. Those are the three. And then did they say when they were going? Did they mention when?
It was going to be that Friday over Springtime Surprise.
Springtime Surprise. Yeah, so then they don't have to worry about Test Track. So I was going to say when Test Track opens as well, that'll be a whole.
But book that first Animal Kingdom one at 8 right away, and like the strategy here is once you check in, boom, you can start making your next one. That's when you can start park hopping too. So like, just book early and book often. And
that's good advice.
You'll find yourself having a wonderful day, and like try not to go too crazy because you got a 10K to run the next morning.
That's good advice. There you go.
That's true.
If the slowest person's running a 5K in 30 minutes, they're cake. They're fine, dude. They're totally good. They're flying.
At least save some for the 10
mile. Save a little. Yeah, save a little, but man, they're flying already, so we're good. Okay. Let's see. One more question here, and it's from Georgia. I don't know where they're from, but I mean, that's their name. So, but
is it our friend Georgia?
No, it's Georgia with last name that starts with P, and it's super long. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Let's see. Hey, Mike, BOGP crew, my family and I.
Georgia Peach. Sorry.
It's Papa Chronopoulos or something, but it's not that. I got close. Hey, Mike and BOGP crew, my family and I will be going on our first Disney cruise ever on the Disney Wish. We are so excited. It'll be a land and sea trip, so we'll be hitting the parks the Sunday before the cruise and the Saturday after we return. My question is, can I get a 2-day park ticket and use it one day before the 4-night cruise and one day after the cruise, or do I have to get 2 sets of 1-day tickets? I heard somewhere you have to use your tickets within a certain amount of time after you use your first day. Hope this makes sense. Thanks for all the good information and entertainment over the years, Georgia. Well, thank you so much for that. And
first Disney cruise, I love that.
It is, and you're going to have the best time, and this will not be your last Disney cruise, as I am clad in Disney Cruise Line attire today because I can't wait for my next cruise. Now that I'm checked in, I got cruise fever like Scott. Scott's got it. I got it. I can't stand it. I'm ready to go. This is the biggest pet peeve I have about land and sea with Disney and the whole situation is that you used to be able to do this. Back in the day, it was not a problem. You cannot do this anymore because the tickets have like a 2-day like grace period. Basically, it's like a +2 on your tickets. So if you get like, say, a 3-day ticket, you have 5 days to use it from the first day you use it. So like, say you get a 3-day ticket, you use it on the first day, then you have a 5-day window to use those 3 park days. So a 1-day ticket, I mean, you have to use it. I think a 1-day ticket, you have to use it that day. I don't know. We don't sell 1-day tickets as travel agents. We're not allowed to. We can't sell single-day tickets. But you're not going to be able to like a 2-day ticket. You're going to have to use it within 4 days, so it will not hold over. So unfortunately, in this situation,
it's a serious bummer because it's like the same.
It is, yeah, I know. It's totally the same trip, yeah.
Because I mean, the situation is a lot of people will come down like 4 days before a cruise, right, and then do like a 4-night cruise, and then stay, 3 nights after a cruise. You'll make it a big like 10-day vacation. So, but you'll want to maybe get a 7-day ticket or something, and say I'll use 3 before the cruise, and then maybe 2 or 3 after the cruise or something. You get a 5-day ticket or something like that. And we used to be able to do that back in the day, but no. Not anymore. It's such a pain in the rear that they should make like a cruise ticket or something.
We got to share some feedback. Maybe on a survey, I can share some feedback.
I share it all the time because I talk to them every day. I'm like, come on now. Because, and the agents at Disney Cruise Line, they feel me.
They know too. Yeah. No one's trying to cheat the system and like, oh yeah, I'm going to use this other day 5 years from now. Like, no, I'm trying to use it 5 days from now because I'm going down because I'm spending more money on a ship.
Exactly. I mean, and I know like it's a certain, very minor segment of the population that's going to Walt Disney World that's doing like the cruise, that's doing like the World Cruise World situation. But it is, I mean, it's also your loyalist fans. You know what I'm saying? Like it's people that are spending good money because they're going to the parks twice with a cruise in the middle. So that's
because I'd want to do that. Like I would. Then your other option is, I just have a resort stay and go to Disney Springs or whatever.
And because that's what I've done the last couple of times, right? Like when we've
gone down, have the water park. You could have the water park day when you come back, but
that's a good call.
That is a good call. It is something. Do that on the front of the back end. Yeah, go to a water park, get the resort stay. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's show. If you have a question, get it in our inbox. It is Mike@BeOurGuestPodcast.com. Just put listener question in the header, and we will get that on the next show for you. But until we get back together on next Wednesday's Listener Question Show, don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or Disney Cruise Line adventure. And the best part, no additional cost to you. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys allow us to keep this show going, the video hosting, the podcast hosting, the website, everything. And can't do it without you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest coming your way this Sunday. So come on over, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. You can connect to us on social media as well. I'm at BeOurGuestMike on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. You can catch Scott at EpScott, EPSCOT. You can catch Ricky at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. But Scott's at Must See Adventures on YouTube. Scott, what's happening on the channel real quick? What's happening this week? Anything new as you get ready to go out to Alani?
I know, I gotta start getting some videos posted. It's gonna be a short video. Our next one is gonna be mostly like a hoop-de-doo review at the holidays, which is actually really unique and really fun. We'll be in the parks a little bit too. I wasn't recording much that day. I don't know why, but still want to share it because I thought the hoop-de-doo at Christmas was really cool. So Make sure you subscribe and check it out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Gonna have a big giveaway when we get there. So make sure you're tuned in.
The push to 1K.
The push to 1K. That's going to be the hashtag, Mike.
Let's make it happen. And Ricky, what's happening over at DisneyWorldAfterAll.com? We got all the breaking news with the Starlight Parade and the new poster over at the studios coming, Monsters Inc. All that's happening over there.
Yeah, we got that. So all the latest news is up about what was announced by South by Southwest this past weekend, and then working on some videos on my social. Just uploaded one this week about my overview of my weekend, but I have individual videos that are going to come up too about the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, saying goodbye to It's Tough to Be a Bug because that's going away here soon. And some dining reviews and stuff like that are coming up as well. So definitely want to make sure and go check that out. I even did a little bit of Universal stuff that's thrown into the overall video, had a really good time this weekend. And so I got some content that's coming out on the site for that too. So.
All right, check that out at DisneyWorldAfterAll.com. We'll have a live call-in show this Sunday night, so join me at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Scott will be there if I can force him to. We're going to see what happens, maybe.
I'll probably be there.
I know.
I love the Sunday live shows.
He does. He's got a lot going on because he is going to Hawaii, so we're giving him a 2-week break because he'll be out there, at luau's and wearing leis and going to the Dole plantation. I'll be following him. I'm finding my friends, thinking it's awesome. But so we'll be.
You know what? The live show will start at noon.
That's ridiculous.
So just give me a call. I might be on the beach and I'll chat with people.
Oh, dude, we'll call you. Yeah, dude, now that you said that, I will definitely call you because it'll be ridiculous. And we love ridiculous because that's actually kind of what Friday's show is going to be about extroverts and ridiculous situations at Walt Disney World. So anyway. We're going to get out. Don't forget, we don't see you in the clubhouse. That's where we have fun all the time. That's kind of ridiculous at times, too. Like on Monday, when we're recording this show, free agency started in the NFL. We have a Sports Center channel. Crazy. Thing blew up all day. I mean, it's just like beep, 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 beep. And so if you're a sports fan, it's like really the greatest sports social media in the world. I mean, but it's on a Disney Discord channel. It's crazy. Anyway, coming over to beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, we'll catch you on Friday. Have a great day. For Scott and Ricky, I'm Mike. Wishing you an awesome one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.